Hi kids. This week we're going to have another story about Moses. Remember, we've had stories about them grumbling in the desert. The Israelites were grumbling because they were hungry and thirsty, and God gave them food and something to drink. And this week we're talking about the Israelites that still were a little bit ungrateful and disrespectful. And God said to Moses, "Hey, Moses, come up the mountain. I want to talk to you about something." And so Moses went up the mountain, and God gave him two giant stones that had written on them 10 commandments or laws, or what we might call rules. 10 rules to give us a happy life. And 10 things that God wants all people to do, especially the Israelites at that time. So if you got your craft bag this week, we put in it God's top 10. That's the 10 commandments in kids' language. So let's just go through them. Put God first means always think about God every day, and put him first instead of putting yourself first. It will make it easier to follow these rules. Worship God daily. That means talk to God every day. No bad words, especially being respectful of God's name. Work 6 and rest 1. That means you should be going about your work and your school and all that all week long, and then on Sunday you should rest, relax, and think about God. Respect your parents, of course. You should also respect the rules that your parents give you. Harm no one. This is very important. We don't want to be hurting other people. Do not cheat. Be respectful of promises that you make to God and promises that you make to others. If it's not yours, don't take it. Don't steal. Okay? Always tell the truth. That's very important to God. Don't be jealous of other people's things. Just be happy with what you have. So these were God's 10 rules. And you may ask, why does God have rules for us? You may wonder, you may have asked your parents this, why do I have to obey rules? And they probably told you to keep you safe and protect you and keep peace and harmony in the family and in the world. And God has the same reason for his rules. Plus, the rules will help you have a happy life. Another place in the Bible told us that the Israelites just went wild. They turned away from God, and they were not paying any attention to God, and they just were doing anything that they wanted to. And they were like wild grapes. So I picked some wild grapes. They're all over this area during September and October. And I have some grapes from the grocery store that a farmer has grown for us. And you can see the difference. There's a big difference, but the real difference is how they taste. A wild grape is sour, and a cultivated grape that is lovingly grown by the farmer is very sweet and tasty. So in the Bible, it was saying that if you turn away from God and God's rules, you may have a sour life. But if you follow God's rules, although sometimes you can't be perfect and follow them all the time, but if you try your hardest to follow God's rules, your life will be sweet and tasty, just like these grapes. See you next week.